because Jack always stopped to look for bugs, even out here in the yard when the other kids wanted to play with him. He was too busy looking for bugs.
Really?
Would he chase
Jack was a
something?
curious little boy.
Would he chase something like a rabbit or anything?
No.
Okay.
No. He doesn't even bother with my cats.
Oh, okay. Just bugs.
No. Just bugs. That's all he was interested in. Yep.
What about flying bugs?
He would watch them, but he would never. If he knew he couldn't catch them, he wouldn't chase them.
Okay.
He would just stand there and look and say, "Look, a bug, a bug."
Interesting.
No, those kids. No, the only reason why we took off and looking in the woods, if we thought that they would be at the camp.
Hey everybody! I just figured that I go on here.
Why we took off in the woods.
And
because when she said they were missing 20 minutes, that's the automatic. You're automatically going to think, check the woods, check the woods. But when we checked the woods, and Daniel went in Malaya's vehicle and went up the old road and everything, right up to the pipeline and never seen them. And I met him at the top of the hill up here on the old road and asked him if he found them. He said no. After that, I searched around the place here. I went up to the old schoolhouse in the.
Hey guys, so there's a yes, hi. Sorry, I was just on A-Balance, and then I was told Janie is on the Drunk Turkey show. I just figured I'm gonna be on and see if there's something interesting. I cannot promise you that there's something interesting here, but I have found a few interesting things from somebody who has been to the location where the star was found and found something else. And I'm going to edit things. Wait, I gotta look things up. How are you guys? Wow, you guys are coming over here. Cool. Listen, I don't think, oh God, I don't think there's anything interesting here, but Jane is calling in there.
Calling.
See, and that would make things a little bit easier to find too. So to kind of try to figure out if somebody was in that area, because of the cell service, it would be very difficult to try to pinpoint somebody's.
You know, this guy is so stupid. And there's a reason that Jane is on there, of course, but like all the good questions he could ask, I thought maybe I get some good information here, but nope, not really. So let me send you something that one of you has forwarded to me, who was in the area just recently. And I'm talking about the area where, I don't know why you recommended to watch Drunk Turkey. Wait. Sorry, guys. So, by the way, the hype is right now about the cadaver dogs. And you know what? I don't get excited. I'm sorry, I don't get excited. I know I could now make a huge headline, right? I could turn this into an amazing headline and say, cadaver dogs are coming. Bam, finished. Oh my God. I don't give a shit. I believe it when I see it. And by the way, it depends on who's doing the search. Where are they searching? They need to sniff the ATV, the house for sure, maybe the pipeline area, and maybe Earl's house, in my opinion. And it would also be helpful to go to the P.L.A.I.D. Bridge, right? The P.L.A.I.D. Bridge, people. There, the star was found, which may have come from Lily's backpack. And this is the area, Middle Pictou River. And this location is where somebody, to remain anonymous, has mentioned the following. Has sent me this. Strangest thing. The white circled area, we found 2 blue recycle bags, both taped across the bottom, and 2 bars of soap. Now here's something that I found very interesting about the area, and I will show you guys the whole deal in a minute. You know who lives right there? You know who lives right there. I'll tell you in a second. Guys, I'm doing this only because I want you not to be, I don't want to, reveal who. Shit. Oh, come on. I am so unprepared. But you know what? Who cares? I was prepared earlier, and then I gave up, and I quit, and I come back. Where is he at, man? I should be ashamed of myself. But God. Oh my God, I cannot find it. Oh my God. Ain't that a trip, man? But I don't know why I can't find it. You see, I hate it when I speak fast, when I'm ready. I think I got the presentation down, man. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute. Yeah, sometimes I crack myself up too. But who cares, right? I should have some music. Be like, we'll be back after these messages. Like in the old TV programs where they do like the beep station identification. Oh shit, I should run a commercial. Google always interrupts with commercials. Now is a good time, YouTube. Google owned by YouTube. So I'm just gonna keep on yapping right now, knowing that I am about to show you so much that I should have done earlier, but I didn't prepare at all because, well, okay, this is getting old. Station identification. Yep, there he is. Look at this. This is one of Janie's brothers. And his name is Harvey Allen Mackenzie, right? Harvey Allen Mackenzie. And look at this. Lansdowne, you know that by now everybody knows this map, right? By now you guys you can tell all of this, right? Okay, this is Gaylord, this is Jack and Lilly. Lansdowne Road, Lansdowne Station Road. This is McLeod. And here's McLeod Bridge, and it's right there at the corner of Harvey Allen Mackenzie, who is Janie's brother. And let me read this to you guys again. It may be something, it may be not, but strangest thing. The white circled area, we found 2 blue recycle bags, both taped across the bottom, and 2 bars of soap. So did Daniel make a stop there? It is very highly possible that the ATV led him, or that he took the ATV down there and may have washed something off. Because he knows the area, he's familiar with it. His uncle owns it, that property. Daniel knew where to stop, and he didn't want to be seen on a public road, of course. And now I'm reading your comments, guys, because this is all I got. Well, I got some other stuff too, but this is the one stuff. Yeah, my pleasure. Hi, Marley. Welcome here. Hi, Danik. The rest of the others I greeted already in the AB chat earlier. Yep. And there's something else, actually. Ooh. You know what? That's what I'm going to get to also. That I don't know if you guys have already heard of it or seen it or heard it in the where was I? I get back to that, by the way. Well, I still want to know where the blanket was found exactly, and I'm still not 100% about it. Could it be that Janie is lying when she says Lansdowne Road? I don't think so. I think it makes more sense for it to have been found near the pipeline near Earl's house, right? But police, well, they may have made a mistake saying Lansdowne Station Road. But this is what I want to find out for sure now. And so I'm going to give you some coordinates. Sergeant Young from Gayaham. That's a good thing. Go ahead. Family has brought us to a location not far away that there's a partial piece of a blanket, which the mother says she believes it belonged to her daughter. I'm just off the road here. Okay, just off the road. Remember that one. If you think it's deep in the forest, behind the pipeline, no, it's just off the road. And off the UPU status, you'll see where Bravo 3 and Bravo 8 are. Yeah, we just stopped to land down the road off of 289. Did we say we found an article? Possibly. There's a couple other pieces of clothing, of old clothing here, pieces just torn, like pieces of rag. And there's a piece on the side of the road. All right, so blah, blah, blah. Do you see the F-250, the truck, and the SUV pretty much directly in front of you? That's this blanket. Yeah, it's on the floor. I don't know. Huh. Now, here, if you can't find anyone, I'll come back. Sergeant Young from Tenape, can we have those copies? Sergeant Young from Gallaham. That's a good thing. Go ahead. Family is okay, I saw this, right? I don't understand this. What the hell am I? Okay, here we go. Yes. I'm at the main gate now. What gate is he talking about? I can check with them right here. So what? Sounds like Janie, huh? So what? Air pass team to patrol 2 and patrol blah, 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 flight. Thank you. And this is pass 314. Okay. A lady dropped by and said she found a pink shirt and a blue shirt on the side of the road. Have you heard about this? Do you want coordinates so that you can see if you already have them from your team? Don't see a flagging tape near it, but I can give you the coordinates and I'll take a picture for, okay. Now, I don't know, any of you know is good with coordinates maybe? Well, hey, Jules. Hey, C. Taylor. Yeah, but a pink shirt, right? A pink shirt, unless Dan, I mean, he's wearing, he likes Pokemon, but I don't think he's into pink shirts. That'd be kind of like, yo, boy, what you wearing there? I don't know how they are in the area. You have? So guys, I have not done that yet. Look at the coordinates. Is any of you good with coordinates? If you are, please feel free to type them in the accurate way. The coordinates are, wait, 20T, I don't know, 05127. And then he says 12450305565. And he said, can you read that back? And he reads back 5127245030565. Over, that's affirmative. That's 3 pieces. I'm keeping this up for a few minutes. No, for a few seconds. Because we need to, I think we need to figure out where things were found. I think that's very important, guys. I think that's the key to it all. that we find out, you know. So I'm not going to leave this up forever here. I know some of you are really good with these things, so I have to pass this on. But what did I get here? History lesson of the McKays and the Mackenzies. Yeah, there's a guy named McKay. There are some. Okay, let me go there. This will be interesting in the future, by the way. There's something I have planned about this. Remember this name. There's a Justin McKay and there's Stuart Alexander McKay, who owns all of this land here, to the pipeline, from the pipeline to Janie's house, and also where the community center was, right? Because there are other McKays. Justin, I will get more into those people. And I mean a lot more. Because I need to know who is who and how everybody connects in that area. And then I can zoom in on the people I'm actually interested in. So just because I bring somebody up doesn't mean, oh yeah, here's Logan's comment on my video. I will get to it later. I will get to this later. Right now, I'm not interested in that. Where was I? Shit. Oh yeah, the Mackenzies, the whole clan. So those were the Mackenzies and McKays before math was invented. I mean mathematics. And so you look at the dates, 1871 to 1952, 1870. And, you have a really big family here. Not really. But McKay and Mackenzies, and they are, of course, really the owners of a huge part of Lansdowne. So the whole Lansdowne things, if you're wondering, how did people like Janie and Daniel and so on, how do they own land? Well, it was handed down to them. You know what I mean? The early settlers, they were Irish, Scottish people, and they came down there and they, they passed it down. And then mathematics came along. Yeah, I did, about the cadaver dog search. You want me to get into the video? There is a video, of course, that, let me see. Well, give me 1 second, guys, okay? What was the one that's new today? The rest I can get into later. And I'm moving fast because later on people can do the replay. I know it's late. I have a lot to cover, honestly. There's a reason I say honestly. And I've told you the reasons before. The disappearance of Jack and Lilly. Okay, here's a video that was sent to me. And it is from the Globe and Mail. And it just came out, right? The Globe and Mail. The disappearance of Jack and Lilly. This is from 17 hours ago. I'm not sure what to expect. If it sucks, I'm going to stop playing it. This is how I am. This is how I am in real life. I pay attention and then I bounce away. Hey guys, hey everybody, welcome. Everybody who's here. Oh, hi. Hello everybody. Hello everybody. Hello everybody. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Cool. So.
My name is Lindsay Jones, and I'm the Atlantic reporter for the Globe and Mail.
I'm Greg.
So Lindsay Jones is the lady that wrote the article that was very good, and she wrote the article that she should be ashamed of, in my opinion, only. I mean, the hatchet job where, Cody and Natasha and all these unimportant things, and Cody, I mean, unimportant in terms of having been a suspect at one point, right? So no, let me not be judgmental. You're doing your job, and that's what they told you to do. We all have our shit to bear in life, right? What I'm saying is that the article, the first one was really, really good, and the second one is wipe your ass with kind of article, right? Okay, thank you. Let's go.
Mercer, and I'm an investigative reporter for the Globe.
Lindsay and Greg have been reporting on the disappearance of Jack and Lilly Sullivan. The two children went missing on May 2nd, 2025, from the rural community of Lansdowne, Nova Scotia.
I was working on the Sunday shift at the Globe and Mail, and the children had gone missing on Friday. When I first heard about it, I thought, oh, most cases of missing children that we hear about are wrapped up within a day or within a few hours when kids go missing. By Sunday, when I started my shift, the children still weren't found.
And to this day, they still haven't been found. Their disappearance and the massive efforts to find them has become a national news story. So today, we have a special episode of The Decibel. Lindsay and Greg will take you through the active investigation, what they've learned, and we'll hear from some of the people closest to Jack and Lilly.
Okay, make it quick, Missy.
I was first involved in the reporting a few days after
Oh God, why are they doing that? Why can they never get to the point?
Lindsay. She was on the ground doing a lot of great work, and I was asked
Oh God, don't kiss each other's asses. Just tell us what's up.
to basically come and assist her at first from afar, and then later joined her in Nova Scotia. On a story like this, it's often helpful to pair up, especially when you've got somebody who's doing the labor-intensive stuff like driving around and trying to find people. We've been at it ever since.
I'm Cheryl Sutherland, and this is The Decibel from the Globe and Mail.
The first thing I did was try to understand what was happening on the ground that day. So we learned that Jack and Lilly are two siblings. Lilly is 6 and Jack is 4. And they were living in the home of their stepfather's mother. So it's a trailer in the community of Lansdowne, which is about 100 people in a remote area with no cell phone service in Pictou County.
Yeah, should I do an intro like that every time? Hello, how are you? I'm Mike Dammann, and I've been doing great work for 10 years. And let me tell you a little more about myself. And then 10 minutes later, okay. So.
Also reached out to both parents. P.L.A.I.D.S is the children's mother, and I got a reply from Daniel Martel, the children's stepfather. And Daniel and I got on the phone that afternoon, and we had quite an emotional conversation.
When I was born in 1969, my mother knew that one day I was going to do something.
Can you take me through sort of what happened? Like you guys heard the kids playing in the morning, and how did that?
Yeah. Lilly came into the room multiple times. I mean, me and Maya and the baby were just in the bedroom.
Just in the bedroom, just minimization already. So this apparently, and I haven't listened to this yet. This is apparently the reporter, Lindsay Jones. She recorded an audio conversation with Daniel for the first article that was pretty good, okay? So Lily came into the bedroom, into the room multiple times. Okay, I believe that happened on Thursday night. But why did she come in there multiple times? He didn't say 2 times, he said multiple times. Many times. Was there something very important that she needed to alert them with? Did something happen to Jack? That was actually my initial suspicion from the statement that he gave before. And it's very similar. It's absolutely experiential memory. You know why? Because that part he repeats accurately. Later on, he said twice she came in. He said in the beginning multiple times or several times. And then later I think he said twice. He remembers, like he was in and out of sleep, so he remembers only twice, but he said multiple times. He said multiple times. Actually, only twice from what I recall. But that was the first one. I don't know if it's exactly he said multiple times, but he said something like that. That would be more than twice, in my opinion. What did Lilly want on Thursday night? I believe that was Thursday night. And Friday morning, they were already long gone. Okay?
I mean, me and Maya and the baby were just in the bedroom.
Just. Double just. Minimization. Minimization compares to the bigger picture. Where else were you, Daniel? Where else were you? What's coming to your mind? Because you're comparing it to something else that is on your mind right now. I believe you were all over the house on Thursday, and there was something very important happening, and I believe it happened sometime between 8 and 10 p.m. because there's a 2-hour gap in between what you and Malaya stated. Malaya said 10 p.m. they went to bed. You said 8 p.m. Okay? There's an avoidance in time, not just the linguistic avoidance. Well, it is linguistic, but there is an avoidance in terms of what happened between 8 and 10 p.m. That's where I'm at, guys. This is what I focus on. And I focus on this because this is where it leads me. And to, to be very accurate, guys, in the very beginning, I was 50-50 when it comes to Malaya or Daniel. Actually, I was more like 25, 25, 25, 25. When back then, they said Justin, his brother lived there, Daniel, Malaya, and his mother. So I had to be equal. I didn't know who did it. I had no idea. And of course, when I saw the Daniel interview of him in the rain, my first thought was he's on something. But I blocked this out really quickly. So I have these thoughts as well, as everybody has, right? They come into my mind. But I have to block them out, get rid of them. Because just even if he is, that doesn't mean he's the one who did it, right? I have to let them linguistically guide me towards what took place, whatever it may turn out to be. So then, of course, several of you said, look at his pupils. Oh my God, there's something wrong with this boy. Yeah, might be. Okay, let's listen. And then Logan, her interview. In my second analysis of Logan's first interview, I knew the problem was Daniel. I knew it. The leakage was just out of this world. From that moment on, I knew I had to look at Daniel. So to all of you who think that Malaya did it, give me a reason. Don't tell me Ninchi thinks so. Tell me what you think and give me one piece of leakage or anything other than from people like Durwood or whatever. People who actually were there, and who was there was Janie, Daniel, and Malaya. And who I believe knows what happened is the extended family. There's a reason that Ron, Earl, and Justin will not talk at all. At all. I would love to hear from them because Ron lives right next to Earl, where the ATV was located. So don't you think that if the neighbor heard the car, Ron would have heard the car pulling up or something? Well, why you think Logan is so active in that? What did her daddy tell her, I'm interested in her because I believe she knows more than she's saying. I don't like to be harassed by her. I don't like her to be all over the place and come. But you know what? I need to look at you because you inserted yourself in a deceptive manner, trying to sidetrack. And that makes you the enemy of the case. Even if you are not responsible for the unaliving. And I say it again to you, Logan. I know you're watching sometimes at least. I have 5 questions for you. And you know what? The same questions I will give to Janie and Daniel. I have them ready. All 5 questions for all of you, the same ones. And I'm saying it's the same ones because I know you were not there that night, Logan. So Daniel and Janie, none of them have to do with, did you kill the kids? Did you do this? They're completely different. They are questions that you would ask somebody who had nothing to do with anything and doesn't know what happened. So if you are up for it and want to answer me questions that have never been asked before, and Daniel, you said in this chat, we are asking you very good questions. I have very good questions for you, and they are non-accusatory. And you know what? Based on what you say, I will be very fair. I will apply all the rules of statement analysis and P.L.A.I.D.S to what you are saying. And I will assume you're telling me the truth, but I will also allow you to talk me out of it. I have to be that flexible. I don't have a theory. I look at the possibilities. And I love when people take the ball and run with it. AB, for example. So when people, and yeah, hi, A-Balance. Welcome. Thank you for coming, man. I was gonna wait till you're done, but when I'm ready, dude, and I gotta go. So, the baby, okay, the baby as in the baby compared to the older children. There's also a reason that we use terms like the child, the kid, remember? The kids, the children. And it probably has a lot to do with how he refers to his own children, right? So maybe he refers to his own children as children and to Jack and Lily as kids. There may be a linguistic difference in how he addresses them because he thinks about them differently. So remember when he said the kids or the children and he corrected himself, the reason is because he forced himself to use a term that was more endearing to him. You understand what I mean? Do I talk too fast? Well, I'm sorry. I have so much to race through. It doesn't really matter what you would use the terms, in what connection you would use the terms. But if you refer to kids that you love as children and to kids that are just kids as kids, then something came into his mind at that moment. And that may have been, I need to sound more endearing. So let me use some lingo that I normally use when I love children, or children that I love, like my own. There is a reason for all of that. It doesn't mean it's very important right now because we already know enough, but these are the types of details that we are looking at in statement analysis in the beginning, and it's tedious, and I hate it, and I like to, but this is what it takes. This is one of the more obvious cases, but some cases are not so obvious, and some people are much better liars, but you catch them by going into these details. So I'm saying that to the people, some of you are just interested in finding out what happened to Jack and Lily. Others are very interested in statement analysis in general. That's why I will bring in Sebastian later on at the end, just a video that I found about him. So I will point things out here and there, just so you guys can remember them and apply them in the future when it comes to being able to detect statements, because many of you have been able to send me statements and the right statements because you realized and memorized something that I said. So I didn't have to waste a lot of time to read through Janie or who knows who. But again, the Drunk Turkey Show, no thanks. I started it here with that, and I realized the questions that he asks, if you listen to this, God, I'm speaking fast. Slow down, Mike. Sounding like Daniel now, man. Yeah, the kid. Oh. Are you still with me? There is a difference. The child, the baby, the girl. What the girl would say, Mari? I'm scrolling up. Yes, I noticed that too, Marley, about Daniel in the beginning. Really? Daniel said he knows for 100% that the cadaver dogs won't find Jack and Lily in the woods. I agree with that. Yes, he knows. Did he really say that? You see, you keep him talking long enough and he will tell us. He will talk, dudes. And by the way, welcome friends and welcome enemies, because many of you are watching. I know how it goes now. I know. And interestingly, when I blocked some of you, Facebook told me that you have other profiles. To those I blocked, because I am not in any group to discuss something that I already worked on. I'm usually there to ask questions where I realize it's a mistake now, but these people give you the illusion of quantity. They have so many fake accounts. So one of you said the other day, oh, a lot of people don't like you. No. A lot of accounts express dislike towards me. Absolutely. They give you the illusion of quantity. And that's why I said I always appreciate when somebody goes in there and makes a real comment about me. And I don't care say what's on your mind. You can say, oh my God, his presentation sucks, but the info is good or whatever. You know what I mean? I read comments like that on Twitter before. You know, that's better than nothing. At least people know there are real people, or there's something, you know, because they want to overshadow and come in with all their fake accounts, probably owned by 2 or 3 people. And they go at it. And what they want to do is discourage people who are not familiar with me from listening to what I have to say. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. All I say, if certain people have fundraisers and certain names are associated, you may as well take a $50 bill instead and burn it or throw it in a toilet, because at least it will not be an incentive for people to continue misrepresenting what happened to Jack and Lily and playing both sides and protecting the people who have knowledge, right? That's a responsibility thing, because that's what you're doing, if you're doing it. You know, well, they are involved one way or the other. It's not really just haters. They are involved. You know what I mean? They are involved. Should I show it again? It's not just the people I'm dealing with, guys. So when I block somebody, here, look at what Facebook tells me. Blocks are profile specific and apply individually. This block won't apply to Christine Inrich's other profiles. But we limit some of, so there we go, guys. If this person's running a fundraiser, you know, or give $50 to a stranger, to a complete stranger. How about that? A complete stranger. That happened to my daughter about 4 years ago. That on an airport, it was a Chinese lady, I believe. And she said once a year they have a holiday. It's called something like Bless a Stranger Day, where you give a gift or some money to somebody that you don't know, who doesn't know you, and doesn't know how to find you, and you don't know you will never see them again. So you cannot do it like an investment. Well, I give him a gift, he's going to give me one back, and something like that. I thought it was really, really neat. So she said, here, buy your daughter something. I think she has good energy. Wow. You know what I mean? Bless the right people, guys. Bless the types of people who are able to do nothing for you. Not people who scam and people who have ulterior motives. Not people who pretend that they have the authority to represent Jack and Lilly, because they don't. They don't. And if they are protecting the same people that have given us deceptive statements, there is a huge problem, people, right? I respect people more who say, yeah, I'm protecting Daniel, I'm on his side, than people who do that, right? So let's see.
And I Lily came in multiple times, so.
Again, multiple times. Remember, he said twice at a different time. Multiple times, I believe you. There is some reason that Lilly kept coming in. Something was wrong, people. Really wrong.
You know, I seen her that morning, and
Morning. He says it twice. Why? Because it wasn't morning. It was evening. Remember, he said Friday. He said it twice also. It is a way of him to remind himself of what he was going to say, to make sure that he is according to script, and he wants to hammer it down even further. That is the pattern that he has. Some people have this type of pattern. Everybody has a different one, but this is his. He's trying to convince. When he's trying to convince you, he is saying it twice.
Jack was out playing in the kitchen.
Well, before he said Jack was out, he paused and he said, in the kitchen, I suppose. Look at this. Jack was out what? Listen to this, guys. This may seem like little to you.
Came into the room multiple times. I mean, me and the baby were just in the bedroom. And I Lily came in multiple times, so you know, I seen her that morning, and
look,
Jack was out playing in the kitchen.
He says playing twice. Jack was not playing. Whatever Daniel says twice, and I've already seen it maybe 8 times, he tries to convince that Jack was doing that because he wasn't. Jack was not playing. And this is a very specific pattern that he has shown us from the very beginning. When he said Friday twice, Friday morning, this is how he lies, in my opinion. This is what, and always, whenever you catch somebody do this, look at all the other circumstances and instances in which he does the same thing. Pay attention, guys, and know that this is a very sensitive area. And in my opinion, this shows exactly what Jack didn't do. He was not playing, he was out. Because the first time he said Jack was out in the kitchen, I suppose. He didn't say playing. What was Jack doing in the kitchen? He was a curious little boy, right? What did he get into? What could have happened?
I'm guessing, and they split open the bag.
I'm guessing. Oh, really? You're guessing he was playing?
Playing in the kitchen, I'm guessing. And
Yeah, you're guessing. Okay, because you know he didn't. And in order for you to have an emotional balance between the fabrication you're selling us and between what actually took place, you minimize by I'm guessing. It makes you feel more comfortable. It's not easy to lie, guys. For some people it is. For sociopaths, it's really easy to lie, even though they get very nervous and anxious and are afraid to death of being found out in general, because their lying pattern, they are so skilled at it that they know once you detect one lie, you will be able to see through them in the future. But they are much better than at lying. Daniel is not that good at lying, and he doesn't really like it. But he's been doing it his whole life, you know? But bullshitting people, bullshitting people on a lower level, kind of like that. Not in something that's very important, like right here. I'm guessing. Yeah, you're guessing, all right.
they split open the bag.
Twice. Slit open the bag. That leads me to believe Well, no, they didn't. How did they get out, and who took them out? You see what I mean? Did they go out of the front? Did you take them out the front door?
Like a sliding door.
Slit open the sliding door. Okay.
It's almost like silent to hear it slide open.
Silent. You see, again. Twice. When Daniel says it twice, pay attention and consider the possibility that this is exactly what didn't happen. This is what he's trying to convince us of.
Open. So they slid it open. The boots were right beside the door.
The boots were right beside the door. So he is putting himself now into the shoes, or boots, pun intended, of the children. They slid it open, okay? The boots were right beside the door. I believe you saw the boots right beside the door when you remembered to get them, when you removed Jack and Lilly. That is experiential memory.
Just proceed to, I'm guessing.
Just proceeded, just minimization. I'm guessing, again, minimization. He knows it didn't happen. It's not easy for him to say such a blatant lie.
Play outside and then they...
And look how he pauses. He is a fast talker like me. But you know what? The pattern changes we need to recognize. I'm guessing play outside. Now he has to think. He cannot just go ahead and talk the way that he wanted to talk. If you have experiential memory, nothing to worry about, nothing to hide, he will talk so fast. So whenever the pace changes, take notice. And everybody's different, by the way. Katie Proudfoot, the moment that she introduces a script, she goes very, very fast. She wants to get through it, and she's prepared with the script. So everybody has a different pattern, but the baseline pattern has to be established, and then it's going to be easier to detect where he is deceptive. They must have, okay. Just minimization, just got out. No big deal. They just got out.
That's expensive, man.
Listen to this fool.
They were gone.
Then they were gone. The gone part is right. They were gone.
Did they see that they were gone?
As soon as I seen they were gone. What's wrong with this sentence, guys? You saw that they were gone. How about I didn't see them? When I didn't see them, he saw that they were gone. This also is leakage. This is also from experiential memory, where I believe at one point he saw and realized that the kids were now gone. And that's important to him. They were gone. Gone twice. You see this, by the way, I'm taking my time with that because we already have figured out how he is. After this, I will show you the video from the area by McLeod Bridge, where Harvey Mackenzie lives, and where one of you found 2 pieces of soap and blue, what was it? Recycling bags? Belinda or Chelsea, if you are hearing this, did you find, now Belinda, I don't know if maybe she saw some bags, some recycling bags in the house, and what color were they? That's what I would like to know. And I mean the second day of the search, that's when Belinda started coming around. And I'm looking up your messages right now while I'm doing this, because I want to make sure that I read this correctly one more time for the people who just came in. So let me pause with this. I know this is about statement analysis, but now it's actually more about solving the case and figuring out what the hell went on. You know what I mean? Okay, here we go. Do you want the public to know it's a hard? Okay, never mind. So, this is by McLeod Bridge. And that's where the star was found. Strangest thing, the white circled area, we found 2 blue recycle bags. 2 blue recycle bags, both taped across the bottom, and 2 bars of soap. Now, does that mean it is connected? It could be. It could be. It is a possibility, meaning since the RCMP doesn't do their job, we need to consider the things, our own findings, and we gotta be ready to dismiss them at any given time, guys. Any given time, we gotta be ready to dismiss, but also be ready for something that's coming our way. Nice area, right? Yeah. I was gonna say this reminds me of the followers of that uncensored group. Yeah, this is a membership. These are the top members of the uncensored group right here, gathering, discussing their theories. What happened to Jack and Lilly? Very fitting. E. Madison, this is it. Middle Pictou River. And there's also East Madison Road, right? I be damned. I haven't noticed that. I haven't looked at this connection. Okay, uncensored group. We know this place. Lansdowne Station. Okay, wait. This is the location here somewhere, right? This is the road. This is the middle, the bridge. I don't know if it's called Beaver Dam or what they call it, but this is the bridge, guys. This is the bridge. And this is where the star was found. And this is where one of you drove by, went down. Harvey Mackenzie's property is this one. Bordering the river and McLeod Road. That whole property is his. I'm assuming it's an area that Daniel Martel is really, really familiar with. Where would you go if you had to get rid of something? Somebody. You would stop only at places you're really familiar with, right? You wouldn't have time to worry where to go on the main street. You would take some pauses. Hey, Kim. Wolf, what did you... I didn't see this. I didn't read this, but I love the chat as usual, because all day long I read idiotic things on the other chats whenever I drop in, and all of a sudden I see, let's see here, guys. Wolf, I missed it, man. I'll get to it later. If it's important, somebody will always bring it to my attention. So, where were we? I guess that's the down part of the bridge. That's the middle river of Pictou. There it is, okay. Or I guess the white. Did Daniel stop there that night? And now I gotta look at the map again. Give me 1 second. What I mean is Earth. Google Earth, here I come. Mattison Road, right? If you don't have Google Earth on your phone, get it, people. Get it, get it, get it. I'm serious. Not all areas are as easy to... okay, so this is McLeod Road right here, and this is the middle river of Pictou. And here's Harvey's property, who, from what I was told, is not that happy with his family for different reasons. So Mattison would be right here. It doesn't go any further there, right? All right. Let's keep going and going and going and going and going. I'm moving fast because I want to make sure I get to it before most of you will go to sleep. But there are so many ways to maneuver over there. What is this? Okay, this is some video of the area. Unfortunately, she didn't take an image of the soap, but I believe her. Okay, next. Gaylock Lake and Lansdowne. This may be my image later, my cover, because I like it. Nice and green. Nature, baby. I think that's McLeod Road, maybe. Wait, this is, where we at? McPherson Road. Okay. Just to give you the idea of the area. What did I... Look, very foresty here. Again, the question I have is, where did Daniel go that night, guys? That's what I'm interested in. And the star, of course, RCMP won't tell us too many things, but the star, in my opinion, is highly significant. And I still think he may have gone up north, even though I was told that bodies would eventually come to shore. But I also was told that he visited Big Beach Island area a few times since the disappearance of Jack and Lily. So I don't know. Is he there checking? Is he there to... I don't think he's there to mislead anybody. I don't think he's that planned of a person. I think that's a possibility that he says, oh shit, let me go by there and see if... It's just, I call this a drive-by. Camera, a video drive-by. You know, not stopping, making a video just real quickly in order to, you know, just show us where she's going. What is this, track maps? Yeah, the track maps are also interesting to me. There are so many ways he could have gone to the northern area. So many ways, people. So many ways. Isn't he going to meetings now, NA meetings or something like that? That's the kind of thing I don't pay that much attention to. Like, I don't pay that much attention to what he is, you know, I mean, I don't know what to think about meetings, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Like NA meetings. Narcotics Anonymous. I mean, you have to have the desire to quit, right? And you have to find like not a substitute, but something you're really passionate about to occupy yourself with, right? And I want to talk about this topic now in a loose manner, because you know how YouTube is, and oh my God. So, Kim, I thought about something else that I was going to share with you about polygraphs. But I'll get to that later. So I don't know about this whole, I don't know, I'm undecided. Some people have told me that their meetings saved their lives. Others have said they don't work. You got to do it yourself. You got to be sick of it. And when I listened to Charlie Sheen and his so-called wisdom, you know, after a while I was like, you know, I liked him when I was a kid, you know, he's a little bit older than me. And I sort of, you know, he was like this cool older dude that I like to see in movies or wherever he was, you know, because, you know, that's how you are at the age of 13. But after a while, I got irritated, man, you know, because I realized all eyes on him, but it doesn't mean that I benefit. I mean, you know, it was just the same shit again and again. Kim, you probably have examined a lot of polygraph results, right? In your line of work. The Brat Pack, I remember that, A-Balance. Yes, the John Hughes movies, I love them, man. The Breakfast Club and all of them. Emilio, yeah, his brother, Emilio Estevez. Have you noticed the trend, Kim, when you look at polygraph results and you only focus on the deceptive answer, that the level of deception goes down, meaning that, let's say you have 5 questions. The first one, the guy passes because he wasn't the one who shot the guard. He fails the next 4. Did you ever notice a trend that all the other 4 register as deceptive, but they register less and less towards the end? That's what I have noticed in the ones I've examined. And I believe that the first lie may be the hardest. Now, generally, I had one exception, that generally speaking, the first lie may be the hardest, but once you lie again and again, it becomes easier and you trigger the sensors a little bit less. With the exception of one guy, and his crime was SEX related. And I came to the conclusion that the one question that was very descriptive not only triggered him the most in terms of him having broken the law, but it's something that he actually, for the lack of a better term, wouldn't want anybody to find out about the most. That's why I believe that the 4th question may have become easier to answer because it was question number 4. It may have been easier to answer than the previous ones, but that's just something that I was going to say the last time and I forgot about it. So anyways, let me continue here. Where did he go, man? Where did he go on the ATV? And please watch the chat while I'm getting some coffee. So I'll go back to Daniel in a minute, guys, and then I go to Sebastian Rogers. I'm going to present you with the one thing that, who's this? Alexander McKay, Stuart Alexander McKay, owns the whole property. Community Center, Jack and Lilly, Pipeline. Stuart Alexander McKay. The McKay and the Mackenzies. I showed you the picture from the early 90s, from whenever. And it's like these Irish, Scottish migrant families that came a long time ago to the area. So they just took over each other's properties and, didn't have to pay rent. Lucky them. In case you're wondering, how do these fools own so much property? Now it was handed to them. And they came over to Canada at a time before mathematics. So their minds were a little bit clearer, than their offspring. Justin needs to be looked into. I agree. He knows. Justin knows, guys. I think Justin knows. I completely agree. But I don't think I have anything else from okay, what is this here? Middle River of Pictou. And this is where the soap was found. Road, close to the road. Yeah, of course, because somebody pulled up 2 recycling bags. I wish you'd taken a picture of those. But you know what? Next time. Anything, guys, anything that's interesting, no matter what it is. And Justin McKay also owns some property up there in Westville. Well, doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't have to mean anything. Could mean something. And what else was going on? I didn't watch. Oh, wait. What did Daniel say here? Some screenshots from you guys. People that were on the pipeline were listed in the documents. So Daniel, was there anybody else that wasn't listed? He loves to refer to these documents. Loves to refer to them. No more questions. I'm referring to the documents. Just read the documents. Read the documents. What Malaya said, read the documents. No, dumbass. Malaya said also you picked on Jack. Malaya also said you held her down. Malaya said other things. And whatever she said to police, most of that was retracted. Because I think police does not want the public to necessarily be aware of what could wind up being a scandal. Because if CPS failure results in the disappearance of 2 children, the public will be dissatisfied with government, law enforcement, and CPS in general. Does it sound conspiratorial? You don't need to have a conspiratorial agreement for the parties to know what's good for them and for each other. And they work with each other all the time. Police and law, CPS, they know each other. They have a working relationship. They deal with a lot of bullshit every day. And I think in an area like that, maybe the CPS workers are especially desensitized because maybe a lot of the children there live in crappy conditions. I mean, some of you have said that the use of mathematics is just out of control there. So I can imagine that a lot of the situations going on, maybe they don't have enough foster families for all the kids that technically should be in a foster care system. You know what I mean? But again, one more time, Justin's car, let's not forget about that. 5-speed, you know? Doesn't matter how much I have planned. This is something that I think we shouldn't forget about. This is a possibility, guys. This is not saying anything more than I'm looking at all the possibilities. So it helps us get there. It can help us get there. Where was I? Back to Fulio.
I went to hear it slide open. But they slid it open. The boots were right beside the door. I'm guessing play outside and then.
How do you know what the children did exactly, man? Why are you being so descriptive? Because it comes easy to you. Because that's what you did. How do you spend so much time on explaining what the children supposedly did? You are over-explaining because you feel the need to convince. Otherwise, you would be more likely to say, I don't know what the hell happened. You wouldn't say they went through did they go through this door? Maybe that one. What? You would think about the other possibilities if you are in those shoes. I know that people out there, most of them, they love to stick with one theory, whatever the theorists they defend. But if your children are missing, you don't theorize. You're open to everything. Like Belinda and Chalsa, even if they are thinking along a certain line, the slight possibility, the slight chance, even if it doesn't make sense, they called the reservation. They knew it was BS. You will think about you will think about what you haven't figured out, not talk about what you have figured out and be dismissive. We looked everywhere. What? No, dude. Then why are the kids not here? You know what I mean? I'm guessing play outside. Yeah, you're guessing.
They must have just got up.
Must have.
Up to the back fence and then they were gone.
Storytelling, not reliable. 100% storytelling. When they spend too much time to explain something very simple, I don't know, the kids could have gone out of this door or the other one. I think it's probably more likely this one, but it doesn't make a fucking difference what door they gotten out of. Who cares? They're not on the property. So who cares what door they had gotten out of? It shouldn't make a difference to you. The fact of the matter is they're gone. But they didn't go out of that door. That's why you feel the need to convince.
As soon as I seen that they were gone,
Seen that they were gone. No, you didn't see them. Anyway.
immediately jumped in the car, did all the dirt roads, did all the culverts.
No, you went straight to the pipeline, dude. And you came back because you didn't want to park your car there. You were afraid of being seen. And you noticed the cops came really, really early. Earlier than you expected. That's when they spotted you and told you don't go into the woods. So you put on the crying game until one of them said, go for it, go back there. And you went, in my opinion, straight through the woods to the pipeline. And your buddies knew where to find you. Your mama knew where to find you.
Checked over the rivers, the street.
I checked over the rivers, the streams over. Well, I believe he was by the rivers and the streams possibly, but at night.
Streams, I did everything.
I did everything. Yep. You were the one who did the transporting. You did everything. I know that.
Anywhere the vehicle could take me, I did.
I did anywhere the vehicle could take me. Yep. You made it up there.
Yeah.
As soon as I got back home, like 10 minutes later, I immediately went out on foot.
Oh, you did all of this in 10 minutes. Look at what he's done in 10 minutes, man. I immediately
jumped in the car, did all the dirt roads, did all the culverts, checked over the rivers, the streams, I did everything. I did. Anywhere the vehicle could take me, I did.
Yeah.
Anywhere the vehicle could take me. Oh, that happened in 10 minutes. Remember what Katie Proudfoot told us? At 6 a.m. she woke up. Within 1 minute, she checked all the rooms, everything downstairs, looked it out of the windows, saw if Sebastian was somewhere. And at 6:03, she already called her husband to report that he was missing. Bullshit. Sorry about my language. I will try to do more professional. I will try to, but I'm tired, right? I'm tired, but I got too much on my mind to sleep. I wasn't going to do this, but I was up in a balances chat yapping, and I realized, you know what? If I have something on my mind, I got to get it out. Because tomorrow something brand new may come. And as I said, I knew that the focus would be on the cadaver dogs. I believe it when I see it. I believe it when I see it. It depends on where will they search, who conducts the searches. I say take them straight to the ATV, in my opinion. Of course, 1407 Lance Gaylock, but also maybe Earl's house. Maybe take him to that river where the star was found. You know? Well, we will see. So no, I didn't get excited over it. Not enough to put it in the title of my video. Maybe I'll do that because that's what people pay attention to, mostly.
As soon as I got back home, like 10 minutes later, I immediately went out on foot.
Immediately went out on foot. Yep. Why?
Till the officers got here.
What were the conditions?
He doesn't want to tell you what he told you before, that stay the hell away from the woods. Don't go anywhere. Stay right here. It sounds like he doesn't want to get into that because he doesn't want to make himself look like a suspect that he was, which he did originally after he passed the polygraph because he felt so safe and secure and proud of the fact that he passed and felt so. He realized later on, well, most of us, we don't care about that. We want to know more about the questions you were asked, you know? We're not going to dismiss your own language from the beginning. Doesn't matter what the news are. Doesn't matter what the whole world thinks. We cannot move away from that. Oh my God.
It's like in the woods when you were running.
Conditions are thick. My cousin said that she talked to some searchers, and they said they've been over 500 different searches, and this is one of the hardest ones I've ever seen.
Your cousin told you? Okay. Must be another one.
Really went out on foot. So the officers got here.
What were the conditions like in the woods when you were running?
Conditions are thick. My cousin said that she talked to some searchers, and they said they've been over 500 different searches, and this is one of the hardest ones I've ever seen.
What makes it so difficult? Is it the thick woods, or what is it?
Very thick woods, the train, the elevation throughout the train.
Okay.
It didn't matter to me at all. I was going up to water up to my waist, and
Yeah, you were going through water to your waist. Again, I believe you. Not that morning. I believe you did that. Let me read your comments now. He had to be away while Malaya did her part of speaking for the family. Yeah. Who is his cousin? I don't know. It couldn't be Logan, right? Logan, who is the cousin? If you're watching. Yeah, he didn't want to be seen, but I also think that he had to go to the pipeline. That was a given. He could not stand around there. He was going crazy because I believe something happened. He may have tipped over with the ATV. Something took place, and he knew he had to do some cleanup there. That's what I think, people. Because he spent all day there. All the talk. And by the way, not one word about the pipeline where you were all freaking day. You looked anywhere, the ATV took you. Why? You see what is unnatural? How much you speak about certain things has to reflect either the importance or the time span. If you spend all day at the pipeline, we expect you to mention it when you speak so much. At least bring it up. And that is a form of avoidance that is to be noted based on the amount of time that he spent there. Not only him. The pipeline boys were there. Janie told us. They were right there at the pipeline, exactly the same place that she took them back to. But he doesn't talk about the pipeline. Formulate a plan while things played out at the trailer, his mom's trailer. Yeah, by the way, listen. I started out by tuning into Drunk Turkey Show. The questions were so stupid and insignificant. So stupid that I don't want to do this to myself. Because also I'm happy to say that a lot of you are sending me the specific statements. If anything ever sticks out to you, if you have listened to my channel for some time and something sticks out to you, no, you don't need to take a screenshot every time Janie says something in chat or Daniel. But if there's something important, out of 10 minutes of nothing, and you say, what did you just say? If you send me the timestamp, that would be amazing. Because this is just as mind-numbing when Granny's Watching interviewed Chris Proudfoot. You know what I mean? It becomes really mind-numbing now. And again, with the cadaver dogs, I fear it's going nowhere. Of course, I hope never mind. I don't want to be the one who's spoiling anybody's excitement. Here we go.
Well, the helicopters were just sitting there watching me, hovering
Yeah, the helicopters were just sitting there watching me, hovering.
above me.
They were watching him. Listen to this. He was worried about the helicopters. Do you see how obvious that dude is? You see, I don't have even time to get into the deep aspects of his statements because there are so many obvious ones. He is telling you what his concern was. He was ahead of the drones and the helicopters because he didn't want to be seen. And that was his area of concern. Who cares who's watching you? You have to think about the fact that you don't see your children. You notice everything else, not one thing about Jack and Lily. Because he speaks from his mind, and you realize when he fabricates, it's not easy for him. He starts stuttering, he repeats his words, but this one flows because this is what was on his mind. Crap, I gotta get back out there, but they're watching me. Who gives a fork? Who gives a fork? Thank you. I will say that then. This mother forker. Okay, so, sorry. When you spend so much time on a case, you do become cynical. Seriously. And it's when I watch A-Balance, it becomes comical actually. Because it is comical at times. It becomes comical because you get desensitized. And you become desensitized because despite the fact that we know so much, RCMP acts like they don't know it. And from what some of you have told me who know people, there's a chance that the RCMP employees may talk very differently in private about this case than they are allowed to do so in public. And when you send me information, you don't need to ask me not to reveal who you are. I never reveal you unless you tell me you are free to mention me. Then I will mention your name, if that's what you like me to do. Oh, interesting. The coordinates. Ooh, shit, man. Wow. I'm getting a message here now. So it's Lansdowne Road. Sorry, guys, I'm reading something. Okay, because I wanted to check the coordinates. Remember, guys? The coordinates. And it does seem like Lansdowne Road would be it. I'm doing this on my phone now, right? Am I getting this correct? I know you are here listening also while sending me the message. Wait. Let me leave a message. Okay, so the blanket was found on Lansdowne Road, right? Anyway, anywho, I'll share the message with you in a minute.
So all three adults that were on the property at the time the children disappeared have the same story. Malaya has said virtually the exact same thing Daniel has said.
Yep.
And Daniel's mother, Janie McKenzie, also told police she heard the children playing in the yard that morning.
Until she couldn't keep her story straight. And remember that leakage about why she wouldn't attend the vigil? About the story? I'll get to this later.
So police essentially began a massive search and rescue operation. And this.
Oh God, shut up. Oh, some
The
music?
day after the children went missing, that Saturday of May 3rd, there was an argument at the home between Malaya's family members.
Is this interesting? I don't think so.
Had an altercation, a verbal altercation with an online creator. This same online creator showed up at the home of Malaya's mother, pretending to buy a horse trailer.
I know.
Searching for him and his role in their lives, we found his mother, Belinda Gray. When we arrived, she was out with her sun hat on and her gardening clothes. And that's what she does all day to help take her mind off her missing grandchildren.
Okay.
And as soon as she saw us...
You guys are amazing. One moment. I got the confirmation now, and I'll show you exactly where the blanket was, according to the police coordinates from the scanner. Give me 1 second while I pull this up right now. Right now, I'm pulling it up, and I have the image here. Not all heroes wear capes. And here we go. This is the coordinate. These are the coordinates right here. Are you familiar by now? I know I am. I could be a tour guide in Lansdowne, an ATV tour guide. Right here. And there's a path, an ATV path. There's a pipeline here. Earl is right here. That's where Earl's property is, right here, guys, right here. You think he doesn't know anything and he had the ATV? Why you think he was so angry with Tint? Only because people say things online? Did you take them, kids? Remember? Be a man. Put down the phone so I can whack you. Put the phone down. This is the location that I mentioned earlier from the police scanner, right here. Earl, the Duke of Earl. So it wasn't Lansdowne Station Road then, according to police report. They messed up completely in the police report. They wrote Lansdowne Station Road. And Janie said it was Lansdowne Road in her beautiful voice several times. Close to the pipeline, guys, very close. Right here. So there we go. That whole police document is, fishy would be an understatement. It is wishy-washy, fishy-fashy, dummy. Is there anything else I was going to talk about? Yeah. I was going to talk about Sebastian Rogers, but I don't know if you guys are interested in that. I wanted to be right back, folks. Yep. Let me give me 1 second, guys, so I can go through my folder to see if I had anything else on my mind. Oh, wait, what is this? I guess this has to do with the coordinates, right? Yeah, these are the coordinates. Can you see them? In case you yourself want to check them out. That's from the image that I've shown you earlier from the police scanner. Very important, people. So just because police says it doesn't mean it has to be so. And this is what I learned more and more, right? We are all raised to think they are always right, and so on and so on and so on. But it helps to check. It helps to check on things. And what is this? Yeah, this is just the insanity of it all, if I may so. We've obtained request have reason to believe there are people with knowledge that could lead us to Jack and Lilly. That's what they said before. And then it's about wandering off. So, you know, they believe there are individuals who are privy to information that could result in locating Jack and Lilly Sullivan. You know? Superintendent Dan Marrow. Yep. Let me see. Janie McKenzie. Okay, her comments. Some of these fake accounts slandering law office of anyhow, where's Stuart Alexander McKay? Oh, wait, what the hell? Stuart Alexander McKay actually owns the property where Jack and Lilly were. Remember what I just told you about Stuart Alexander McKay? Can you believe that? And who's Justin McKay? And how do these people fit? Well, I will tell you about that later because this is something we're still looking into. But Stuart Alexander McKay owns the property where Jack and Lilly lived and where Janie is right now. Synchronicity. And I believe in it. M's dad spoke the truth regarding Aboriginal women and children. I don't know about that. Yeah, I get a lot of information about reservation life from some of you guys about First Nation, and I know very little about it. Daniel said, what? Mom contacted my brother, but I'm not 100% sure. I was searching. I didn't watch that channel. And if you guys see anything from Daniel Martel, doesn't matter where you see it, if it sticks out to you, just do me a favor, just screenshot it. You know what I mean? You're not 100% sure? How sure are you? And what was the question? Who owns the car? Mom contacted? I don't know, guys. Oh, Grandel is there. Daniel, please check my comment to you above, bro. Very good. Yes, Grandel. You're here. Cool. Grandel, did he ever answer you, or did he ever reply to anything you asked him? Or did something stand out to you? Oh, Wolf, please, iamfiretown@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. I want to see it. I would love to see it. I would love to hear it, whatever there is. And again, I'm not going to sit through the Drunk Turkey show and listen to questions that make, I'm not going to do it, dudes. I'm not going to do it. You see, I was so unprepared, I didn't even use a title or a profile pic or thumbnail. I just needed to be on. I'll change it later. The title will come to me as I do this. I know I should say cadaver dogs are coming. Maybe I'll do it just for the heck of it. You know what I mean? Even though I'm not excited over it, but that seems to be the thing that's interesting to people today. Yes, I was being very nice. Very good. Be nice. Don't be accusatory. Again, Daniel, I have the same 5 questions for you, Logan, and Jeannie. The same 5 questions. I would love to be able to pass them on to you. I'll give you 2 hours to answer them. You shouldn't need 2 hours. They are non-accusatory at all. Because Logan wasn't there, that should tell you that these are questions that Logan can answer as well. They have to do with Jack and Lilly, all of them. But this is not our style. We don't accuse people. We analyze and present our findings. That's what some rookie police officers do. They put you into a dark room, blow smoke in your face and say, you killed them. Confess. Confess now. You did it. Yeah, when you watch 1930s gangster movies, that always worked, right? Sure. In reality, it's a little bit different. Well, mine wasn't the question. I was trying to give him some info. Oh, cool. Hey, Grandel is right here. What's synchronicity? There are no coincidences, as I said before. But one more time, there's this one. Lilly and Jack also share a room, but they divided it in 2 because they would be up all hours of the night when it was open concept. I believe you. That's the problem, right? Same like Sebastian, who couldn't sleep. And the gravel thing. I mean, did she use the gravel for the potholes? It's gravel inside the tubs, used for around the swings, back deck stairs. The pool was not talked about a whole lot. The pool didn't come up ever until the day that Janie gave the interview, right? The fence was first mission before pool. Okay. I do not own a 5-speed. Some others in the area own them. Right. In the area? How about not in the area? How about somebody living up north in Egerton, right? Where your brother lives, Justin. That's why he says in the area. Because the person, in my opinion, who he knows drove the 5-speed is not from the area. But no standard vehicles come to the house at night you're referring to. 5-speeds are not common these days. Most are automatic. No one came to the house. Thursday night, it's all untruth. Like many things surrounding the case. Untruth. Untruth. Do you ever use the term untruth? Per dinkum, yeah. Well, I think Justin needs to be, I would love to ask, hey, Justin, I have different questions for Justin, though. You know what? For the heck of it, I will write down 5 questions for Justin. Not expecting to ever get the answers, but you never know. And if you have 5 questions, feel free to post them in the comment section. What would you ask Justin if you had a chance? And try to remember, don't try. Do or do not do. There is no try. Remember how to ask questions. Sort of like Randall did with Daniel. Non-accusatory. There is no need, people. The first time you communicate and after that you analyze. You don't have to analyze on the spot, but you can if it comes to you. And then ask follow-up questions, going into deeper details. That's okay as well. And at one point you can confront and say, well, one time you said this, but then the other time you said something completely different. Which one is correct? And Peter Heyer talked about it many times, how he gotten people to confess, because that's what you do. When you have the statements and you know who it is, when you have 30 employees and one of them did it, you present the person, the suspect, with their own statement. And they will understand that you see through them and got them, the same way Logan knows that I got her when she tried to dismiss what I analyzed of her in that first interview. And she said, I pieced it together. The keyword is together. I didn't rip it apart. I pieced it together. Because she knows, she's in awe. Because that's never happened to her before. That somebody told her exactly what she was trying to hide and what else she told us information-wise. She knows it. I don't care. She can put on the strong woman act as much as she wants. When she sits there and comments on my videos and she watches it, she thinks, damn, oh my God. So if you see her, if you hear her again now in an interview, I can guarantee you it will be very, very, very different from the interview she gave before. You know, verbal diarrhea, overly confident. No, she will be more thoughtful now. And dare I say, she may even prepare. You see, something happens when you're being exposed only for who you are and only for what you really know and say. And I would love to hear her on another interview because that'll be a little more challenging for me. And I bet you anything that, synchronicity. You see, I tore my first interview to pieces and pieced it together. That's exactly what I did. It all came together. You all wonder why I don't want to talk to him. Exactly, that's why you don't want to talk to me. You know, I don't remember. I probably said it at one maybe I said it before. But I have 5 questions for you, Logan. Can be done by email. Can be done by, I would prefer actually to have you. I would prefer actually via voice. It could be Facebook Messenger voice, where I speak or write the questions. And then I would love to hear you actually say it with your own words. So you don't have somebody help you and then copy and paste it. Because I don't want somebody who listened to my videos to maybe message her and be like, listen, if you give me $200, I watched Mike Dammann enough. I know what he, you know what I mean? I will do it perfect for you. So no deception will be detected. So I would prefer actually, so if it's actually garbage that somebody else prepares, I would prefer to have you read it, because I can guarantee you if you didn't write it, you will slip up, and there will be significant differences in the speed of speech and so on and so on. So at least I'll be able to detect it easier, but in writing as well, because everybody has a certain style. And when the flow is not the same, chances are it wasn't you. Okay, I'm almost done. What is this, man? Yeah, Ken, seems like you know something. So Daniel said that. What is he referring to, man? Wow, fair dinkum, thank you. Thank you for the support. And again, thank you. I haven't checked the Facebook group. Oh, yeah. One of you pointed out the Beaver Dam thing. I think is, what's her name? I appreciate more and more of you are now coming in there, or who are in there already are commenting. And I said it before. These people, when I block them, I realize, and I point it out right now. I don't care, man. I don't care what you say. You see? Because I asked myself, is there any benefit of having these people around? And the answer is no. You block Brad Turner. Blocks are profile specific and apply individually. The block won't apply to Brad Turner's other profiles. These people give the illusion of quantity. They want people to think everybody hates me. So there may be 7, 8 different fake accounts talking to each other whenever somebody posts my video. And I'm tired. I do not feel the need. I deleted my own question about Gaylord, about Lansdowne Road was Lansdowne Station, because I forgot who commented there. Some unimportant people who have fake accounts, you know. And I have no time for that, dudes. You see, I'm not like you. I don't sit around like you people coming up with ways to manipulate people into believing that you should take charge of a movement and have a new fundraiser. Right? Is that what it's all about, your upcoming fundraisers? Or is it for fame alone? Provide something of value, then you can talk to me. Not this bullshit, sitting all day long on Facebook with different accounts, talking to each other, waiting for somebody to post a video of mine. So yes, I'm happy that you guys are, okay, what am I looking at here? New Glasgow. Anyways, you know what? This was a topic of my last. And before I let you guys go, the Beaver Dam was a lie by Brad Turner. Yeah, of course. Of course. He tried to make it sound like there's some. Did he ever answer? Did he ever reply, guys? Did he ever? Hi, Daleen. Toxic human being. Yeah, it's one human being with, who knows, 5 or 6 accounts maybe. But when people read a real account, it will resonate. They will realize, I don't care. Oh my God. I love it. If Mike said Verdinkum again, I was going to ask if he's from. I'm from Australia, yeah. Fair dinkum. I don't even know what it means, man. What is a fair dinkum? Teach me. Nobody likes me. Everyone hates me. Think I go eat worms. What? No, so the person who said a lot of people don't like, well, no. There's 2 or 3 people with possibly 10 to 15 accounts. And a couple of other people whom they tell to go in there and say something. Because mark my words, there will be some fundraisers. Stay tuned for the fundraisers. And remember what they're doing and who is behind what's being done. And then ask yourself, can you find a better way to support Jack and Lilly? A better way than giving money to people who play both sides and try to take over. And that's why I didn't want to listen to Drunk Turkey or Criming Shame. Because you know what? Some really bad energy there. Really bad energy. And it's a waste of time. But if you're there, I see some of you in there. And you know what? I see those of you asking the good questions too. And yeah, it can make a difference. But it can also drain you. It can completely drain you. If you come there with a mission, I appreciate if you pick up on the right, the important things, some leakage. Pay attention to when they stutter, or more than anything, when they start a sentence in one way, but finish it in a different manner. That's what I'm so unbelievably interested in. Every single time they do it. That can be major leakage, people. Major. And that person says, oh, he talks about me, and I talk about Logan only because I talk about anybody who I believe knows something. And that's it. Doesn't matter if you were there or if you know somebody if you have knowledge, I have to do this. I have to, There's no other way. That's what we do. So I told you guys last time I was going to talk about, I need the Nancy Grace video one more time. Or let me go quick. Let me see real quick if I forgot something. I don't think I did. Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. Stephanie Krieger. She asked Daniel, according to Wade, he found Lily's jacket outside on a car in the yard. Let's not forget about this, okay? Yeah, just comment in there. Tell them whatever. You don't have to praise me. Let's say, this presentation is real shit, but or mention something that I said that you agree with, if you agree with it. Whatever you say, speak the truth. Don't go to that level that they are on, where you try to speak the lie convincingly. Speak the truth. Speak your mind. Speak what you really think, here and there. You know what I mean? It resonates with the right people. I don't need the garbage people. I'm not a sheep herder. I don't like being a sheep herder. The best thing is when you guys are doing what you're doing, and I can be a part of helping you get better at what it is that you are doing, because you're probably experts in areas that I don't know anything about, right? But the combination of that and what I have studied can be very powerful, especially if you are a lawyer, investigator, private investigator, or if you are even an interviewer at work, or if you're in business and you want to detect deception within conversations from business associates or other people that you think about going into business with. Oh, and thank you for all your emails. And no, I'm very bad with replying to emails during the day. when I have my phone, because I type very badly on my phone. I'm usually pretty good with listening to Facebook messages, audio, and replying. But, you know, some of you have sent me emails like, oh my God, thanks to you, I know how full of it my wife is. And and it cracked me up. I wanted to reply. I haven't replied yet. And listen, man, you know, in marriage, forget about it. Don't, you know, put statement analysis out of your mind. Don't let me be the reason for anything. But you can turn it into a positive and understand the anger from which to communicate. I don't know. I'm obviously not a marriage expert at all, but you can apply every single day of your life. You'll be able to apply statement analysis. And two things will happen the better you get at it. A, the more you will realize how full of it most people are. And B, you will start appreciating the people who are not full of it more and more and more. As you realize, wow, whenever I talk to this person, I recognize there's no deception. And you notice also that conversations with those people never end with you having a bad feeling at all. Because the energy flows. Yeah, I mean, if ever, you know. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Kim always inspires me to the free flow of thought, right? And of course, if you are single, open to dating, yeah, believe me. I would have loved to analyze the bullshit that Daniel told Malaya on their first date. I would have loved to be the guy. You know how they have these TV shows where you sit in the back and monitor it, and the guy or the girl has an earpiece, you know? I would have been like, deception, no, deception, leakage, drugs, leakage. And so I don't know about online dating, if some of you are doing that, that's even easier. There is a lot you can tell from, and you know what? I mean, you don't have to be extreme, like, you know, the Dr. Phil catfish episodes. No. I'm talking about regular dating. You will be able to tell intentions. Use P.L.A.I.D.S. Oh shit, am I using okay, you see my watermark right here, right? I don't think it's visible very well. Use P.L.A.I.D.S. Okay, 90% of you are female watching me, according to Google. Okay. So I'm going to use the term his now, right? I'm going to use his, not hers, because most of you are female, okay? So what are his priorities? Indicate, you know, whether or not he has certain issues, be they drugs, alcohol, financially, or something else he may be into that you don't need in your life. A, avoidance. You ask each other questions. Anything that he moves away from and avoids, get more into that, at least in your own mind. Feel free to ask me as well. You can do it in private. I actually, but I don't want to be responsible when it comes to relationships, And I once in a while I get these messages. Can you analyze my boyfriend's message? I think he's messing around on me. And I'm like, dude, no, I don't want to do that. I really don't want to do that, because sometimes they get back together and then he's like, well, why did you leave me? Well, because Mike Dammann said, and then I have, I don't want this. Seriously. I know how things go when you go in between relationships. And when they get back together, they both hate you. And then they team up with Brad Turner and say, he's a fraud because I didn't cheat on her and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, P.L.A.I.D.S, P-L-A, then I. Most important, the intentions. What are the intentions of the person, of him or her, who you consider, whatever you want, hooking up with, getting in a real relationship with, potential marriage material, whatever it is that you. Yeah, okay. Hello, welcome to Mike Dammann. Today's subject is dating advice, what to avoid, what to do and what not to do. How can you see through the person who seems like Mr. Right? Is he Mr. Wrong or is he Mr. Maybe? Let's find out. Anyways, so, oh my God, it is so useful. And of course, A-I-D, deception. Well, deception is a red flag, but that's only the beginning of it, right? I can detect deception. But what do I do with the information? There are different reasons people become deceptive. And sensitivities, those are often the maybes, right? Everybody has this little things in life. Everybody has his, what your pet peeves, or not everybody, but a lot of people, many of us do, right? Where we kind of feel like, so it's different. You accept each other when you feel right for each other. You know what I mean? Sensitivities, you ask yourself, am I willing to deal with that? Am I willing to deal? Does the person have baggage just like I do, and can it work out? Or is it going to be toxic? The sensitivities are the maybes, and you have to consider them. And not expect that there are none. Jesus, I sound so wise right now. Holy shit, man. In my own life, I'm not that wise, by the way. I'm much better at matchmaking without trying than actually, recognizing things on my own. That's why often I say it's easy for me to examine other people, but it's harder when you dating with the man. Oh my God. Should I make this my title, man? Yeah, why not? No, it's too silly. I want to, though. Eventually, I'll do it. Because nobody wants to be matchmaker, not match taker, But, nobody wants to be like Janie, sitting in a small trailer with a bunch of dog hair, giving Fluffy the name of the male companion that he may substitute in some ways, not saying anything. No, maybe men didn't want to listen to her BS, but Tucker has no choice, man. Tucker is sitting there, Tucker would call the tip line if he could. That'd be cool, right? Cool experience. Brandy, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, but that's often the realization. Cannot or isn't willing, but you know what? It's about the intention at the end. Everything leads us to recognize intention. And in my opinion, if the intention is bad, things will never work out, ever. No matter how, this is only my opinion, okay? People do screwed up stuff a lot of times. And I am very reluctant with the teachings of always forgive or forgive. No, not necessarily. Be straight with each other in the beginning. God, I hate sounding like this. Be straight and expect the same from the other person. But the moment that the intentions are bad, offensive, or get the hell out of there, that's only my opinion, right? Priorities can change. Sensitivities definitely. Deception, well, you confront people and say, either you keep lying to me, or either you stop lying to me, or I'm out of here. I'm done. I can do, there are too many fish. There are too many fish in the sea. We don't live in Lansdowne Station where there's only maybe like 4 or 5 eligible singles around. It'd be like, I'm in New York, dude. There are more. I'm not going to be stuck in misery. But when the intentions are bad, people, and that's the only thing, I don't give it advice. I give my thought, my personal thought. If somebody's intentions are bad, first of all, you got to be neutral enough to recognize this person has very bad intentions in general. And that is an ongoing pattern that's not going to change, right? Which is why I kind of like the phrase by Maya Angelou, when they show you who they are, believe them the first time. And I think it's very important to keep that in mind, man. Because we all do stupid stuff sometimes. And there are things that maybe we want to change about ourselves and not be judged for it. But, and the problem is, of course, that it's easier to see that in somebody else than in ourselves. And I've learned this very late, so, but you get away with it more when you're younger, and then it comes to an end eventually. No, I'm not trying to sound like Janie here, but where was I? Let me look. Diesel says, I say, stay alone. Meanwhile, today was our 16th wedding anniversary. Excellent, man. Excellent. And you know what, people? I think a lot has to do with how you meet. When you have similar interests, I think that's the best thing. Because you don't have to compromise and adjust. When you don't have to say, and that's what I hated before, oh God, I don't want to talk about myself. Yeah, I don't want to. When you have the same interest, I think things are more likely to flow and you really get to know somebody, The worst thing for me was always when I'm always interested in something that I'm doing. And when she would ask things like, okay, what are we going to do today? I'm like, I know what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? That was always my area of things not continuing. And I think the best thing is when it just happens by accident, if you will. So to me, this whole online day, I don't know. It's people can meet anywhere in the world, anywhere, any situation. But when it's too forced, it's never good. It's rare that it turns out good because teenage boys learn how to talk to girls or in a way that they can represent themselves as being better or different than they really are. And women, I think, do hide certain you know what I mean? We learn at an early age, often from older same-sex friends who advise us wrong. So the patterns, I'm looking into the chat to see if you guys are still with me. Or if you guys say, God, I'm out of here. Yes, absolutely, Grandel. The compromising thing, I am so not into, dude. If you have different interests, that's fine. But you need to be self-sufficient also to some degree. You know what I mean? And I would hate to be in a position where I take away from anything that I'm into or like doing or am good at or feel energized by. You know what I mean? Sometimes, yeah, of course. But I also think that you shouldn't have to sacrifice too much, right? So if you're passionate about something and she is passionate about something completely different, then you can coexist in a happy way. You do what you're into, she does what she's into, and you don't have to have the same interest. But what I always hated is when somebody demands my time. You know what I mean? Like, and I wind up doing some completely boring thinking about some else. That's why I wake up in the middle of the night, I go straight online because I have it on my mind. Like I could make, yeah, I prepare a little bit, but then comes the point, you know what, right now I need to talk about it. I don't know why, I just do. You know, so being able to be yourself, I think, is the most important thing. The moment that you realize you are not being yourself because like you feel like you can't, then this could also mean that you may have misrepresented yourself as well, as we oftentimes do. And the person expected us to be somebody other than who we are. And now we are sort of stuck in the situation, right? But I say it again and again. Daniel, I believe when she became pregnant with Meadow, that's when he shown the real Daniel, because he didn't care anymore. You know why? Because he figured, I got her now. She's stuck with me now. And that's when I believe he stopped hiding from her what he was really doing. And he let it all hang out. You should never have to take yourself away from you for somebody else. I agree 100%, guys. And you know what? The more you practice analyzing people, the more you will realize who the right people are in your life. And I feel really good when I look at the chat. Like really, really good. You know what I mean? Sandra says, moving in was step one. Then Meadow locked it in. Yep. Because when she moved in, I think she was still hating it. Thank you. And he was still worried to lose her. I think he was still worried that she's going to say, you know what? I pack my shit in my mom's house, my grandmother's house. But he kept the game together for a long time until she was pregnant. Abusers, Brandy, I think abusers fake who they are a lot more than most people. Because you know why? They have learned to their pattern, because they have something to hide. And the more you have something to hide, the more you will escape into a persona. Because you know, if you are being yourself, the answer would be no on every potential date, right? But unfortunately, many of us have been conditioned to think that we need to represent ourselves in a certain manner rather than just being who we are. This is what girls like. This is what you got to do. This is what you got to talk like. This is here. This is wear this, wear that. This is the da 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 da. You know, I remember an older boy, 2 years older than me. He almost gave me advice, and I see how shitty it is. And there are only a couple girls I ever seen him with, and one broke up with him after like 5 days. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I listened to him, dude. How stupid was that? You know? So, dating with the man. What are your questions? Request line is open. What's your problem tonight? I think being alone can be a very good... Are you guys still with me or what? I think being alone can be a very good thing after a bad relationship. Very alone. Because it puts things into perspective. And you realize more than anything, your own mistakes too. Exactly, Brandy, and that can come to us when we hit rock bottom and we realize, shit, man, why did I put up with this? What made me think it's going to get any better? It doesn't get better. Hardly ever. Only if the person has a huge wake-up call or something, or something really almost how you say that? Almost out of this world, out of, what's the term? Divine. Something divine would need to take place. That somebody, but hope, that's why I don't believe in hope. I'm very positive because I know there are always possibilities, even though I may not see them at the beginning. But hope, you give the power to somebody else. I hope he's going to change. No, dude. And the wake-up call, of course, for Malaya was something that Jack and Lilly had to pay for. Jack and Lilly had to pay for Malaya finally waking up. Wow, Brandy, thank you so much. This is really, I don't know where this will take me, but whatever areas of interest, if I see I have similar interests in you, this is where I'm going, dude. Nobody's hopeless. But I missed the question. I missed the comment you're replying to. I hope many times for humans there. No, don't hope for humans, man. Don't do it. As I said many, many times, I recognize people for who they are, but it also makes me appreciate the right people so much more. I used to be really bad one-on-one. I always was better talking to a big crowd of people, or being the class clown, or being this. I was always, but one-on-one, I was really bad. In relationships, I was really bad at that. But now I realize that the right people were always there in my life, but I didn't recognize them. So when you end up with the wrong person, you really take yourself away from the right person that was always there, right? And that's sometimes why people reunite after years, after high school. And like, who is it? Jack Black. He married the woman he went to high school with. He's now he's my age. And so he realized he was really in love with her or something like that. I forgot. I read Wikipedia a lot of times, you know what I mean? I just like the fact that he suddenly has these huge hits, man. Even if they're stupid, like Lava Chicken. My daughter loves all his songs, and the one with Peaches. But I'm like, holy crap, this guy is he's my age and he's been around and he's not the, not a pretty boy rock star. But, that can happen where you feel so connected, but you don't realize it until 20, 30 years later. That can take place. And why? Because there's door A and door B. And when you go into door B, you don't see what's in door A anymore. You lose sight. And suddenly that's your new life. And all of a sudden you realize that the right person was always there. God, don't make me cry. I'm not being selfish if people say you are. Yes. Holy crap, Grandel. This is so true. You're being selfish. Look at you. The moment, oh, Stephanie, hi. Now, you know what? At least if you want to date somebody from this chat. How about that? Seriously. And no, if you're the wrong dudes trying to come in here, you will get hidden from chat, so you can talk to yourself. You know what I mean? Because there's 90% female here. Oh my God. But you know what? Where was I? I talk too much. No, I'm not. The right people, it's all about that. And I had something real profound, at least according to how I saw it in my own mind, to say. Stephanie, yeah. I'm happy to see you in chat while I'm putting your question up there. And I absolutely love it when you guys, because I don't want to be in those chats anymore, man. Because I'm not going to hold back from what I think about what they are doing, I'm not going to do it anymore, man. I'm not going to like analyze one person and then not talk about what I see somebody else doing. You know, I'm not going to be selective like that. I don't want my energy or my circle around me to be like that. So I know I'm not going to be welcome in a lot of these chats. The moment they see my name, they'll be like, oh, look who's here. And then their attention is going to be on me, right? So I love it when some of you are present all over. Like you, Brandy, you're present in many different places. I love it when you, or Stephanie, when you asked the right questions. And the questions need to make sense to you. Even when I suggest them, unless you really feel, I learned a lot in my lifetime, Mike. It took me 42 years and my, at the time, 12-year-old daughter to begin to figure things out and see them for what they really were. Yeah, and yeah. Yeah, I feel bad actually talking like this because I realized how much I messed up with my oldest daughter, or how I was not there. But yeah. So when, you know, the reason that there are so many things that I'm so convicted about is the fact that, you know, sometimes I look at people making a same mistake, and I don't get into people's business, but I'm thinking, holy crap, man, how obvious things actually are. How wrong do we learn things? That was, in my case, the biggest problem. And my parents didn't always get along. So it's always important that you kind of, you know, you normalize things that are not really, you know, worth normalizing at times. Plenty of Mike. Oh my God. You see, once I get going, man, I can't shut up. Jeez. Don't make me have to delete this later. I'm kidding. I don't do that. That's what's so nerve-wracking about life. No, it's not nerve-wracking anymore, but it's about the lives that I got to get it right the first time. Or right enough. Or some like that. But I think we can all learn from each other. Not only about statement analysis in general, but P.L.A.I.D.S, I believe, is the best way to do it. Because I've learned statement analysis the right way and the wrong way too, and the long way. And I realized later that my teachers were not always right. And so in general, it doesn't matter if it's your parents, your teachers, instructors, professors. At one point you realize, holy crap, these people had to pass their exam at one point, and they may have not been the top of the class either. And then you realize you can simplify things, and P.L.A.I.D.S applies everywhere in life, guys. It does. And it becomes second nature. You know, it's an introductory thing where you don't have to, you know, be on a date and say, oh, wait a minute. Let me pull up Mike Dammann, P.L.A.I.D.S. Let me see what it says. Where you read P.L.A.I.D.S under the table while he's sitting across the table from you. And you say, oh, avoidance. Let me ask you again, you know, what about your company issues? What about your financial problems? Well, you know, sometimes you will recognize too much, and people get angry when they're found out. Logan is a prime example, but she's softening things up now because she knows she cannot intimidate me or go get by me or try to shout me down. You know what I mean? Because then they realize all I have is a front, and my front is no more visible because these people see through me. And the more I talk, the more they realize. You know what I mean? It's easy to put on an act when you're around people who buy into it. And then sometimes you recognize Yeah, you will. And be warned. Be warned. You may be at Thanksgiving and your grandma says something whom you love and you're like, holy, what did you just say? And maybe her leakage will reveal that she really doesn't like her daughter-in-law, who's your mother, which was the case in my family. And I'm looking back, and there were many times where I was like, did I just hear this correctly? Even then. And now it's like red flag overload, man. And she passed away, and I had a dream about her 2 days before she passed. And I called my mom and said, I want my daughter to talk to her. And it didn't happen because she was already sick and my daughter was very young. My oldest daughter was very, very young. And I said, I want her to talk to my daughter. And my mom said, yeah, next week I said, no, now. And 2 days later, she passed away. And my mom is feeling bad about that ever since. And needless to say, my mom didn't have a great relationship with her, which probably was part of the reason why she was reluctant to act, which sad, but anyways, life goes on, man. Reflecting is key. Yeah, I don't like to over reflect, but 5 seconds speed dating with like the man. Speed dating is a trip, man. You know what? If you have speed dating, I never did that. Have 2 questions ready. The 2 most important questions on your mind. And speed dating, I think, is good because you don't have fear of rejection or any of that. Because next, you go through it real quickly. So it's like, oh, fuck that guy. And then, I mean, in a way, get rid of this guy. Not the other way. So, that's actually not a bad way, maybe. If you know P.L.A.I.D.S and you ask 2 good questions. How about, what do you want? And don't try to not be rude. When we are told, always be polite, smile. No, you can also send the wrong signals to the wrong people. I've had many discussions in my previous profession about that. A lot of the women that I had interviewed that had the worst marriages and were suffering the most of them told me, I was brought up to be polite. I was brought up to smile. I said, so you were brought up to be fake? No, it's not fake. I'm not saying you're a fake person. What I'm saying is that you were forced into a fake pattern because sometimes we got to be real and be like this person. There's a reason why stalkers pick out certain women because they feel like, just like crime victims. When you interview victims of crime, many times they will say, I knew I shouldn't have let him into the house. My intuition, my instinct told me, don't let him in. But I didn't want to be rude. I didn't want to be impolite. Be real. Be real. If you're female, if I was female and I had the dude sit across from me and I thought he was all right, I would say like, what do you want? Don't say it accusatory, just in a regular way. What do you want? Let's cut through the bullshit. What do you want? And believe me, this is a question that will probably get you a lot of leakage if the intentions are not good. He can ask you 2 questions. You can ask him 2 questions. That's how it goes. But make sure those are your questions, something you really want to know. Don't beat around the bush and then, be like Malaya. You know what I mean? But she probably had a lot of wishful thinking remember what Daniel said. She talked about her trauma for a year, right? Of course, he's using that as an excuse also for who knows what he's been doing, for using or whatever. But that's what he said. So she was probably not ready for a new relationship, because when you get out of a bad one, a reset, you have a reset. Oh God, I'm not that wise in life, people. I'm just like, let me read you. Trauma. Yeah, I have better online relationship online than I ever had in person. And the girls are across, either across the pond or in the completely other side of the country. You know why? Because there's no pressure. Because you know she's not going to come over or meet you right now anyways. Because you are being yourself in these conversations more than ever, in my opinion, possibly. Because you show who you are. Because you don't have that. You don't have this, well, am I messing up now? Who cares? She's gone. She's far away. Who cares? Who cares what I say? And sometimes it happens that you say some stuff that you wouldn't say in person because you would think, oh, I shouldn't say this. And then she says something similar. Thank you, Daleen. Do I say this right? Daleen or Darlene? Yeah, and don't listen to Dr. Philman. Sometimes he gets it right, but sometimes he really doesn't. Safer and cheaper too. Yeah, oh hell yeah. This is Mike the Man. And I will lead you down the road of love. I'm reading your comments now. Oh, Daleen, got it. Got it right the first time. Oh my God, it must be late where you are, but I need some coffee and then I shut off. And I will have the final word like Jerry Springer. I'll do Sebastian next time. Because now everybody's mind is on ourselves. What can we do better? Oh, Springer died. That's right. Jerry Springer died. Yeah, that's true. That's true. He disappeared completely, right, in the end. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm going to leave Stephanie right up here because it's a beauty. It's a poetic question, guys. If you're in those groups, just ask one question. Wow, guys. Make sure to name your firstborn. Give him middle name Michael. If it helps. No, I'm kidding. Give the names that you like. Ask one question. That's what I would do in speed dating. Ask one question What do you want? And if that's a problem, oh, you're being so rude, get the hell out of here. Next. And if the person says, I want to be happy, then you can ask a follow-up question. More than 2 questions, I don't think is good, because then people get into things that they think they should ask. You know, what's your color? What's your sign? What's your favorite color? What's your sign? What was your mother like? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? You know, what do you want right now? What do you want? And then maybe what makes you happy? And the people who are just consistently miserable will have a hard time answering that one. The people who deep inside know that they are not the type that focuses on just being, and with that, just by being who they are, making another person happy as well. You know what I mean? Because they will start stuttering, because that was never really on their minds. And other people may say, the right ones may say, I don't know. What do you know? Then the conversation can actually begin, a real one. But when you ask the wrong question, what do you think about Donald Trump or something like that? No, man, I don't think that's going to work. I think it's got to be about the connection, you know, that you realize who the person is, or, you know, yeah, if you ask, you know, what's your religion and this and that, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think there needs to be something much deeper than a ideology or conviction or something to keep, you know what I mean? I'm reading. Cool. My grandfather's name was Michael Dammann. And it was freaky when I had never met him. But when I saw his grave and there's my name on the grave, that was a freaky feeling, dude. And by the way, that's something else I want to talk about. Swearing on your grandfather's grave versus swearing on the life of your children. There's a huge difference. Remember when Janie talks about, I swear on my father's grave or something? Your dad is dead already. He's already gone. What you gonna do? Rob the grave? No, you have the memories of the person, right? I think that's a very easy thing to say to some people. To some people it may not be. But I thought about this. I don't swear on anything. You know what I mean? But there is a difference. But anyways, more like, what would you do in a dark alley if no one looking for no repercussions? Yeah, exactly. You want to know who the person is. Ask 3 questions to set baseline and record from eye movement. Then ask 2 questions without a baseline. It's a lot less telling. Right, that's good actually. Yeah, Daylene, I like that. By the way, Kim, Daylene is a lawyer as well. Can I say who you are, Daylene? In this chat? Or should I shut the hell up? You know what? The baseline questions, yeah, you can ask an easy question that is easy to answer truthfully. And then, yeah, Daylene Thomas is Belinda's lawyer. Say hi to Daylene. She's in chat right now. Daylene Thomas. And one of these people left her a review. Brad Turner left her a review, a horrible review, in my opinion, because she questioned Janie. Very telling, in my opinion. Daylene had some questions for Janie. And Brad Turner, should I share the review or should I not mention it even? I feel like sharing it, so you guys know what we are all dealing with. Yeah. The question is, why did he leave that review? What did Daleen say? Did she get too close to something? No, I feel dirty. We had such a good discussion. I don't want to deal with this shit. But then again, I got it right here. Look what he said. And that was because, in my opinion, she questioned. He said she spends 52 hours a day. First of all, that's not reliable, right? This over-exaggeration leads us to, that's an immediate disregard here, right? I'm 1,000% sure. Bullshit. 52 hours a day, yeah, right. On FB, and then goes in all the groups and chats and gives awful, unsolicited advice. Nope, she gives actually good advice, but that is why these people don't like her, right? She's a threat to them, and then defames people. No, she doesn't. She asks questions about Janie, specific ones. She enters private FB chats and tells people to give her info for her cases. That's what she's supposed to do, you stupid ass. And asks them to do things like her free assistance. I'm happy to assist her whenever I get a chance to do so. When I have something of value, of course, I pass it on. It's a free flow of real information. She takes on cases that she knows aren't viable. He's trying to discourage you from giving real support to Belinda. I'm talking about real, not fake support like Christine. Real support, you see? She takes on cases that she knows aren't viable, thereby victimizing people who are already victimized. Right, like Janie. Janie is a victim, exactly. These people, and this is a fake account, and I show you real quickly. Did I show you, Daleen? Let me show you again. Now, I read it first. She has had recent complaints filed against her. Nope, I haven't seen them. At the Law Society because of this unethical, unprofessional behavior. Bring the proof, dude. I disregard it unless somebody tells me this is where you find it. You remember he talked about Beaver Dam, and then chickened out, wouldn't answer. But here's what I saw. Daleen, okay? This block won't apply to Brad Turner's other profiles. He has more profiles. So when people say, Mike, why don't people like you? I'm like, what are you talking about? I go in there, I see all these fake accounts, and I realize they're giving people the illusion that I am not liked, right? Same with this person, Christine. Other profiles, that's a warning from Facebook, meaning we try our best to not show her your comments so we don't encourage her other profiles to comment on your posts, right? That's Facebook's way of saying, look, I mean, they should immediately they should immediately block all of them. And it shouldn't be allowed to have all these fake profiles, but maybe they want activity. And even if it's good activity or if it's bad activity, they don't really care. Yeah, but what you gonna do, you know what I mean? That's what we're up against. So that's why I said thank you to Laurie and a few others, and Callie and Kimberly and others who have been commenting when somebody posts a video of mine. It doesn't have to be, it has to be whatever you feel like commenting. You don't have to praise me, you don't have to, but just that, then people will actually see that this is blatant misrepresentation from these people. So, what should I do now? You see, no matter what I plan, it always goes completely different, which is a very good thing. I'm trying to have a last word of wisdom, but I don't think that's necessary. I think the best thing is anything that's non-formal. And the only thing I really have to do is look at your chat. I can't stand Facebook. It gives me the, yeah, maybe I just leave, just get a lawyer. I think everybody's kind of fading out. And you're smoking as much as me. Please quit and inspire me, Robin. Yes, you first. God grant me this serenity to accept the thing. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, the beaver dam thing. He's referring to that bridge that I talked about many times, trying to make it sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what? The right people need to be present in all areas of servitude, the right areas of life. You know what I mean? When you have the right people, you cannot say that, okay, this profession is full of unethical people, so I need to avoid it. You have to find what's right for you. That's like me saying, I'm not going to be on YouTube. YouTube is a bunch of garbage. Well, fuck it, man. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing what I have been doing long before I took it to YouTube. You know what I mean? So, of course, they would say, oh, all these YouTubers out there. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a statement analyst who's on YouTube. Oh, but I don't even need I don't need a label. But the problem with the label is that people already get a certain feeling, right? So it's easy to be dismissive. All these people online, all these YouTubers. Well, Daniel is not worried about Brad or Christine. He's not worried about these people online. He's worried about people like you who ask him unexpected questions. And you know what? He told us we are asking great questions because he's not threatened by them, because he doesn't understand what leakage is. So maybe he heard my analysis since and said, oh, I'm not going back there. But again, I'm doing the analysis. Other channels can do the fluff and get them on. But now it's so much fluff, it doesn't even give us any more answers. The same when we had, that's why, man, I was going to make part whatever and do a reaction to Chris Proudfoot. And I said, no, man, because the early interviews told us so much more. But anyways, yeah, I do that anyways. I'm not trying to. Yeah. Sandy, we dating with Dammann, that was a discussion. We had dating advice, how to apply P.L.A.I.D.S to dating. For those who are open, not looking, but open to something good happening in life, and wanting to make sure that we don't go down the, the wrong road. Very good discussion, I agree. And I'm talking about your comments. Yeah. No, Janie gave up already. I mean, Balance, he made some funny comments about, like Durwood's hung like a horse and he swings by, and I don't know about that. And that's, you know what I mean? That's an area I don't... Oh. Wow, Daylene. They started this particular campaign against me when I got Janie to admit even with medically supported polygraph, it would tell something, and pointed out, Janie said, we'll all feel stupid when, okay. Daleen, do you know, did she answer all of the questions? She answered all the questions, right? With the baseline, the control question in which she lied, and the control question in which she told the truth, right? But did you see actually, did you see the result? Oh, I'm sure RCMP, somebody from RCMP watches me, 100%. Got it. She completed the test. Is that normal when you have a medical condition that you first complete the test and then they say it's not valid at times? Okay. Yes, it's not normal. Normally you would say, okay, she's not fit to take a test, right? They wouldn't do the exam first, right? Yeah, she completed it. As soon as medically invalid must stop and cannot be. Oh, I would love to see that printout. You see, I know a little bit about polygraphs. I would know how to read it. I would love to see a picture of that one. I would love to see it. I will eventually come to Canada, absolutely. I would love to, yes. That's the question, Brandy. Maybe she failed, maybe inconclusive. But you know what? If she simply passed, why would she talk about, she would say, screw you. Can you imagine if Janie passed and then, why would they say she is not medically fit to take a polygraph if she had passed? She would say, fuck you, I passed. I don't have a heart condition. That leads me to believe, at least inconclusive, in my opinion. Either inconclusive or failed. You see what I'm saying? Oh my God. Because she needed an excuse. That was an explanation, I think, why she failed. Her medical thing. Otherwise, what would be the problem? How did I do? Well, I have a heart condition. I can see that. Yeah. I would love, I know it's not going to be reported but this is not normal, man. If you go in there and you say, I have a heart condition, they give you a physical, and then maybe they will say, well, this woman is out of whack. This woman is just high strung and she's all up and down, and her pulse rate just goes up and down for no reason. And, what is the normal pulse these days? Oh, I don't know. I forgot what it was, man. See, I don't want to say. I remember that a pulse rate is similar to the average beats per minute we prefer in music, reflecting the heart rate, something like that. 72? Yeah, so maybe, I think she's always over that, just who she is. Maybe 1 minute it's 74 and the next minute is 85 for no reason, just because her thoughts give her discomfort. Who knows what, man? But think about that. Something about her polygraph, man. And yep. But you know what, guys? Should I play the song or not? I don't know. Janie's got a rake. Janie's got a rake. Da-da. Bum, 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 bum. I just made that number go up. Okay, it's not 72. I think it's more like 80 something, right? Beats per minute? I don't know. I have no idea. Robini had the nerve. I was discussing a lot of things. She's fine to rake a yard, carry Jack through the forest to multiple hikes, yes, talk to 2 hours answering questions, but can't get 4 truthful ones in examination. Statistical anomaly. I agree. Let me film your chat right now, man, because I'm done yapping. Let me do the last few minutes. Just give me a second.
Searching for him and his.
Shut up. Because everybody's kind of fading out anyways. And when the serious part comes to in the end, oh, who's this? Penny Lane Freedom? Huh. I'm getting to know some of you really, even on Facebook. I be damned. Quite a few people who I
40 ปีปตท.สผ.สร้างความมั่นคง
what the hell? Let me see the chat. I want to do the okay. Google Earth. Nope. Down, boy. Get out of here. And I don't need that anymore. What I need is the chat. Oh, God. And I love these lives, but it's going to be harder for people to get. I got to get timestamps. I will start next time doing timestamps and then tell people exactly when to watch if they don't have that much time. You know what I mean? And I haven't figured out how to, cut them up into shorter. Maybe I'll do that. If any of you, Lauren used to do that, cutting them up into short parts, just like the important parts, like about Justin's car. If any of you knows how to do it, be my guest. Let me read my. Yeah. No, the truth doesn't change. And it doesn't become my truth or your truth. There's my truth, there's your truth, and then there is the truth. And we want to get to the truth. So when Logan says, I ripped her truth apart, yeah, I did. And then I put the pieces together. She told us what her problem is with me, I appreciate it in a way, even though she tried to, it has to be, you're not a victim, I don't victimize people. I forgot also rode a quad for a day and go so far in the, oh yeah, that's what Janie did too. She got a tick bite. How far in the bush were you, Janie? Absolutely. You know what? This is an endless case, Daleen. And you know what? I don't think you're going to get help from the, you're not going to get, how you say, you're going to have to do what you have to do in order to get more information. But, let me know whatever you may need and what you, like I say, I don't think they're giving Belinda the documents on time. as they should, you know. But I knew that would happen. When I saw them mentioning Cody as a former suspect in that article, I knew that they're not going to, you know, they don't want, you know. Yep, lies change, variations of the truth changes, and we don't need any variations. There's a reason why people give variations. He says, let me tell you my side of the story. You know he's going to bullshit you. Let me give you my side of the story. No, give me the truth. Dating and P.L.A.I.D.S with the man, absolutely. The dogs, yeah, I hope so. What do you think, Daleen? You think there's going to be anything good coming out of it? Or, you know, the question is where, I mean, ATV, Earth House, pipeline area, and that spot that I talked about earlier by the bridge. I think these areas should be examined. And if you missed it, Daleen, I will fill you in later and tell you more. Because the public demanded it, railroaded, I think you're right. I hate to say it, but when I saw all these channels today, breaking news, the cadaver dogs, I was like, ugh. Whenever the wrong channels advertise something too much, that's when I'm like, we will see. Hey, Balance didn't have that title. You know, he talked about other things because after a while you get desensitized. You don't jump up like a happy sheep just because somebody says, bah, we give you what you want. You don't say, you know what I mean? You know, whatever. No, sorry. Sorry, people. I know some of you have good feelings about it, and you know what? It could be correct, but I'm very different in this term. I get happy when I see something good happening, not a promise. Promises don't make me happy. You know, I believe the public demands a lot more. It may change in the future. I think the public is now going to go down the road like they said searches, so let's hope they have some spots in mind. Stephanie Krieger, 100%. It's like the polygraph examination. It matters. What matters is what the questions are. You cannot just say, I passed the polygraph. What were the questions? The same you cannot say, we did cadaver dog searches and nothing. If you don't search the right spots, nothing good will happen. This is really cool to have this ghetto way of showing my chat. You know, I should show again, I say it again, in my opinion. Yeah, they don't want me. Oh yeah, train them. Yes, I would love to train them. Absolutely, that would be great. They would probably bring in the elite ones, and by elite I mean the kind of people who have proven their ability to shut up. I heard the Truth Verification Unit acts in complete secrecy in Canada. They're known for acting in complete secrecy. I read an article about them when I first heard the name. They are like the elite, not only in terms of skill necessarily, but they have the ability to shut up. If you want to move up that far in a ladder, you need to prove that you are able to shut the hell up. Change your YouTube colors to black and we'll see it better. Really? How do I do that? Oh, shit. How do I do this? Tell me how to do it next time I do it. I'm afraid to touch anything now. You know what? Now I'm going to actually play the song. Crown government people, gotta go dark mode. Let me see, man. Let me see, dark mode. Okay. I go into Give me a second. What do I do? Chat filter? What do I click? How do I do this when the live is already going? Settings, dark mode. Do I need to do it before the live ends or can I do it now? Oh, wow, I can give a heart to something. Cool. What the hell did I just press? I don't see it, people. I don't see it. Did I just do something wrong? It says I just uploaded a short. That's scary. Community moderation. Live chat is on. Message delay. Nope. Blocked words. Community defaults. Nope. Nah. See what? I'm clicking all kind of shit here, man. It's dark on my phone. Okay, I keep talking. Forget the song. Icon on a PC. Go to your icon at the top right, click it, go to customize channel, okay. Device theme. Did I do something? Best song ever? Okay, let's see. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, that's the internet, I am the web. Oh my God. It must be on now, right? Wow. Oh my God. I think I need to dust this off, or maybe the lens. I will make sure to clean it up. I stay up as long as you. Okay, Robin, so I'm responsible for how you feel in the morning. That means I'm now going to you know what, dude? I'm embarrassed to say it. I think my camera lens. But I like it. Now it's good. Thank you. The things I learn, man. Welcome to the dark side. So guys, I think now I'm not going to play the song. It depends. Yes or no? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Not so much. Okay. Your screen is in the same condition as a trailer. Yeah. Man, you want me to wipe my lens? I think it's the lens right here, man. I think it's the lens. The first thing I will do is just talk. You're the end. I am the internet. Good. Right now. It's Friday night. I vote yes for the song. The song, yes or no? Okay, guys. Okay, I think those of you who asked, you see, you make a big mistake. Some of you made a really big mistake. You asked, what is the song? And now I'm like, well, there's only one way to find out. Only one way to find out. One way to find out. Dark mode for life, right? Durwood dancing in the spaceman suit. Okay, guys, so I can't believe I've been doing this so long because I had absolutely no plan to go on. I was in the A-Balance chat and I kept yapping and I said, you know what, I'm just going to do it on my channel. I'm not profiling. Who's profiling? But Robin, you know what? The thing is that I think now it is so late for so many of you, and I don't want anybody to miss sleep. But I need your agreement. I need your vote. If you are in chat and you don't feel like you are live, check for the red dot in the video taskbar. Okay, if it's gray, go to the little gear at the bottom right, choose playbacks. Thank you so much, guys. Double speed. Mark Mothersbaugh. I just had to catch up. Okay. Any more questions? Anything that's on your mind? You know what? Listen, it is now probably after midnight for most of you, right? So I will say good night right now. Please send me information if you have it. Send me the screenshots, what you see. And if you are hearing Mike call names out 2 a.m., you see, look up at the top of the chat and choose live chat instead of top chat. Okay. Well, we've been talking about dating a lot. And we've been talking, of course, about, you see, and this is the thing, man. I talked about Sebastian Rogers for probably 6 months, not only about Sebastian, but primarily about Sebastian, right? Until Daniel came along, until Jack and Lilly went missing, and he became the subject. So, I think so too. I feel better at night. I'm a lot better at night when it's quiet and the people don't, because when you deal with people, you always react in life. You know what I mean? At work, you react. With family, you react. You always react. But when you hear yourself think, and all of a sudden you have yourself, all you have is yourself. You have sort of the, you hear your thoughts. Demands night owls. Yeah, you know what, Robini? No, I don't think so. I hate to say it, but I don't think so. It's another case where CPS dropped the ball. And if they really find out, you want me to post that video? I promised you guys a video last time, right? Let me pull this video up right now. The Nancy Grace thing. Shit, where's the Nancy Grace one? The Proudfoots and Nancy Grace. Who sent this to me? Oh God, I have to go to my Twitter account right now and look it up. I wanted to give you that leakage from Katie Proudfoot, the double leakage. Remember? That was a video from Nancy Grace, but I got another one that I was looking for the last time and didn't get to. And it's really, really good. Where is that? Oh my God. It was the leakage of remember, she said, "Hey, Baba, did you fall out of bed?" I think you remember. And remember this creepy video where they show their hands because she couldn't control her duping delight? Now, look at this leakage here. And let me make sure that I got this. Oh, I got a new message about Daniel. Wait, this is good. Huh. Okay. Listen to this. It's
Katie Proudfoot, Katie, Proudfoot, Proudfoot.
Chris, CHRIS.
He loves to bend them out of shape and play with them, fidget with them.
Can you hear?
He loves playgrounds. I mean,
Is it loud enough?
He likes fishing and things like that, but
Cats. Boy loves cats.
he does. He loves cats. This is fake.
Here.
I mean, we're out, we're looking, we're trying to make sure that everyone stays looking and doesn't let his face fall to the bottom of a feed.
Doesn't let his face fall to the bottom of a feed, was what she said. I hope everybody stays looking. The bruises. Okay. That is major leakage, guys. So that's when I realized. Before that, she said, "Baba, did you fall out of bed?" The 10 p.m. thud. That is the double leakage. Listen to the whole thing. Okay, here we go.
He's a good kid.
There are no leads, nothing caught on video. Your son has been missing for 11 days now. How does that make you feel as parents?
I mean, I don't have words to describe how I'm feeling right now. I mean,
Yep, she spent so much time. Okay, never mind. Let's go to the...
Every day is harder than the last. I mean, we're out, we're looking, we're trying to make sure that everyone stays looking and doesn't let his face fall to the bottom of a feed or get covered by some other nonsense. I mean, I just
What did Sebastian get covered by after his face fell to the bottom? You see, this is major leakage. I saw that, at first I saw when she said, "Hey, Bubba, did you fall out of bed?" The Nancy Grace one, right? How many minutes in was that? I think I need to show this also. Comparison. I like the doubles. I love it when there are two different statements about two completely different things, but the analyses result in the same thing. So I don't know if I have it here on Twitter or if I have it in, I guess that's easy to Google. Wow, I'm in dark mode now. Nancy Grace, Chris, Katie, Proudfoot. By the way, Nancy Grace is not on national TV anymore, right? She used to be. Now this is just a YouTube channel, right?
RV Park. Okay.
Wait.
Dropped my glasses for the time.
What are you studying?
The night, because normally he's good to go in his room once he goes to bed.
Earlier,
around 10 o'clock.
Okay, here we go.
DeVry.
Unimportant question.
So that night you go to bed at midnight after you've been talking to Mr. Proudfoot on the phone.
She is such a pretend smart woman, you know what I mean? She is so set only on this one train. And I still don't understand. Like, for me, these kind of shows are boring because if they don't ask the right questions, I don't understand why I'm even watching it. But this one actually is turned out all right because
you put the dogs away in a cage, a crate inside the home, and you go to bed. Did you check on Sebastian at that time?
I did not.
Okay. Do you normally?
Not typically. Since he's gotten older, I've not been checking on him as frequently throughout the night because normally he's good to go in his room once he goes to bed.
Earlier, you had stated you heard a noise in his room before you went to bed. What time?
Okay, so she heard a noise, right?
What was that?
Yes, exactly. I know. She was talking about the feed, like a YouTube feed, a Facebook feed, and so on and so on. Okay, I got it. Yes, Ray wrote it. I know. I saw it before. I did it actually before a while ago. I will do that. I will. So I will copy the important parts from my last video and maybe this one if I find one. Yes, let his face fall to the feet. But the language she chooses, let his face fall to the feet. Yes, she was referring to social media, of course, but the language she chooses aligns with what she is about to say right here.
Around 10 o'clock.
10 p.m. What did it sound like?
Just a thud.
A thud. You stated that you said, look, I don't care what you're doing in there, go to bed. Is that right?
I was on the couch, which is near his room, and I said, Bubba, did you fall out of the bed? And he said, no, ma'am. And
did you fall out of bed? So this, for me, is major leakage. I believe that this may not have been what killed him, but then you bring the 3 a.m. car that removed him. And this is how I'm going to end it, guys. Oh, thank you. You sent me the link to.
Wake up everybody, stop sleeping. They want to charge more. Big companies are creeping into our internet. Internet's in distress, let's answer the SOS. I'm the internet.
Good night,
you're the
people.
internet, we're the internet, now that's the internet. I like the internet, we love
Thank
the
you.
internet, and I can prove it. Some net fairy dust made me who I am, living in an online neverland. The web's my playground, no suits allowed. Internet celebrities, let's sing it proud. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, now that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove it. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, now that's the internet. I like
See you
the internet,
guys.
we
See you
love
next
the
time.
internet, and I can prove it.
It's not my tights that cut off circulation. Big business wants to control the net nation. What you can see, how much you should pay. Tell me,
Buenas
is
noches.
this the democratic way?
I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, now that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove it. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, now that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove it. Wake up everybody, stop sleeping. They want to charge more. Big companies are creeping into our internet. Internet's in distress, let's answer the SOS. Keep it free and keep it open. Speak up or our World Wide Web will be broken. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, now that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove it. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, now that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove it. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, now that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove it. I'm the internet, you're the internet, we're the internet, now that's the internet. I like the internet, we love the internet, and I can prove it.